So, the Yankees are down 2-0 to the Blue Jays. They're up against the ropes. There's no doubt about it. And fact of the matter is they are in a pickle. So, they really picked the worst time to stop pitching and stop hitting. And it's not like they consciously chose to do this. This is part of playoff baseball. When teams get hot, teams get cold, right? And they were cold. They started to wake up last night, but it was too little too late. And, they've given the other funny thing about the Yankees is when they set records, they set good ones. When they set records, they also set bad ones. And what do they give up? 23 runs in the first 2 games? I don't think it's ever happened in postseason history against a team. They set a record of futility. They're right now they're almost entering the Hall of Shame, right? So, which kind of stinks, but it isn't over yet, right? And people might not want to hear that, but it's not over yet, right? There's still baseball to be played. Yes, they have a tall task. They have to win the next 3 games against Toronto. Not going to be an easy feat. But this has happened 6 times before with the Yankees. Okay? They were down 2-0 versus the Dodgers in the 56 World Series, versus the Braves in the 58 World Series, versus the Dodgers in the 78 World Series, versus the Braves in the 96 World Series. I remember that because they were down 2-0. And then Joe Torre said, we're going to sweep them in Atlanta, then we'll come back and win at home. And George Steinbrenner thought he was crazy. And that's exactly what happened. They also did it in versus the Athletics in the 2001 ALDS. And they also did it against the Indians, the then Indians, in the 2017 ALDS. So 6 times they've come down from 2-0, right? So it is a realistic possibility. Long shot, yes, no doubt about it. That's why I'm not waving the white flag yet. I'm not saying this series is done. A lot of people tell me it's over. It's done and done. It's not done yet. There's a game 3 tomorrow. Okay, and my plan of attack, at least for them, I hope their plan of attack is the same. Just to take it 1 game at a time. Just win tomorrow. Worry about the next day after that. Just win the game tomorrow. Okay. Carlos Rodon's on the mound tomorrow. I think Cam Schlittler is on the mound Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, or Wednesday. And that's it. I mean, we're up against the wall. We have to win all 3 games, or our season's over, right? And that's the way it is. And I totally understand how people are. A lot of folks, not everybody, but a lot of folks are just down in the dumps with the Yankees. I get it. I'm a very emotionally driven fan base, right? And that's okay. That's okay. And I know a lot of folks wish I would have rants and tantrums like a lot of other channels, right? But I like to keep a level head about this thing, always, right? There's so much negativity that surrounds this team, and and a lot of it comes from the fan base, right? And that permeates everywhere. Here, Twitter, you get beat writers. The Yankees are constantly getting trolled by Blue Jays people now, by Mets people before, and it just happens every single year. Comes to the territory. A lot of folks love to hate the Yankees. I know a lot of them embrace the hate too. I know I do. So that's the reality of the sport right now. I mean, it really, really is. Another not insignificant, but an unimpressive fact. Since 2021 in the playoffs, they're hitting about 210 with a on base percentage under 300. So and a slugging under 400. So that this is the constant with their postseason statistical computation or compilation as a team, right? So I'm hoping that they start to add more on-base percentage guys that work the count. One of the things that we did not do in these first few games, we did not work the count against the Blue Jays pitchers, right? We didn't, and they took advantage of us. Those accusations of them stealing signs. I don't know if they're stealing signs enough. That's the common theme right now: stealing signs by the Yankees and blah blah blah. Don't know. Fact of the matter is, they beat us twice. That's all we have to go on. That's actual fact, right? They're up 2-0. They kicked our asses in the last 2 games. I'm hoping that the momentum we started to build in the latter part of yesterday's game kind of filters into New York. We need the fan base to be crazy. We need the stadium to be louder than it was in Toronto. And it was loud, right? You need to combat these ridiculous leather jackets that they put on after they hit a home run. They parade themselves around in the dugout. This and blah with these ridiculous costumes like other teams do too, like the Red Sox did. I'm glad the Yankees don't do that stuff. But the fact is, there are a lot of guys who aren't stepping up right now. I know the common theme right now has been Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge. He's hitting 440 in the postseason. 440, okay? But the common criticism right now is not hitting with the bases loaded. And neither is Trent Grisham. Neither is Ben Rice. Neither is Giancarlo Stanton. Right? Neither has really Cody Bellinger. It's only Aaron Judge. It's kind of a theme across the board. Right? And generally with this team is when one guy's hot, once the team heats up, then everybody heats up. Once the team gets cold, everybody gets cold. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it was only a few and they were balanced off by some other guys. Right? But unfortunately, that's a theme with this Yankee team too. A lot of guys get hot at the same time. A lot of guys get cold at the same time. And right now, we need a lot of guys to get hot against the Blue Jays. We've got Shane Bieber on the mound tomorrow versus Carlos Rodon. It's not going to be an easy task, right? And then I don't know who's going to be on the mound for Game 4. But if we get to a Game 5 back in Toronto, we're probably going to see Kevin Gausman again. So we're going to have to approach it a hell of a lot differently than we did Game 1. And so these are just things from my perspective and where we're at right now. But like I said, it is not over yet. It isn't. Emotionally, it might be for a lot of fans. I get it. Mentally, it might be for a lot of fans. Fine. I know a lot of people want me to admit it. I don't admit when the season's not over. Because it isn't. Right? I go with the math. Once they're eliminated, it's over. Right? So, but I'm also not going to sit here and say they're going to win every single game outright for the rest of this. But I'm not going to make any ridiculous claims. I'm just going to keep quiet and focus on tomorrow's game. And that's it. Right? And I invite other people to do the same. It's up to them to decide whether they want to do that now, but they don't have to. Right? But that's where we're at right now. A lot of fans are in the dumps. I get it. We are up against the ropes against the Blue Jays, and they're putting us up there. Right? They're bullying us right now. Like we bullied other teams this year. So we have to beat them at their own game now. And they are a team that had led the major leagues in hits this year. They had the most hits in majors. We had the most home runs. They had the most hits. Okay. And they had higher batting average. So this is a good offensive team. Right. And, there's nothing we could do to change the first 2 games. They're already in the record books. I'm just hoping that they take what they learned in these first 2 games and, into their approach for Game 3 and for Game 4. Right? Can't just rely on the fans to be loud. We need to rely on the players to be good. Right? And again, we can sit here and blame Aaron Boone all we want. It's the player's job to perform, not his. And when he was here, he did his job. He put us in the damn World Series in 2003 with that home run off Tim Wakefield in Game 7 of the ALCS. He's got one of the most notorious home runs in Yankees history, ever, of all time. Right? So, that also doesn't make him a masterful manager either. But the fact is, too, in his first 8 seasons, he's gotten into the postseason 7 times. He's only one of 2 managers that have done that in baseball history. So, it's collectively a team effort here. And we can spend our time calling me yes man, saying this and blah, blah, blah. People are entitled to do that. They are. I'm just focused on the game ahead of us tomorrow. Attacking it differently. Shutting the guys down. We need to shut the guys down. We need to shut down, right? Again, jumping on Bieber early, creating a lead and keeping the lead, right? And obviously, right now, our bullpen is kind of all over the place. People are coming in and out of the circle of trust. I get it. So I do think one of the things they need to revamp this offseason is the bullpen. But if the offseason's not here yet, okay, what we have in front of us is what we have in front of us. That's what we have to work with. So that when that time comes, we'll get into that too. But give me your take, folks. I want to know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and whatever you feel, whatever you think is fine. It's okay. It is okay. And I'm sticking with my position. It's not over yet. Tomorrow, just win tomorrow. Just win tomorrow. That's it. Focus on that. Win. Make a statement tomorrow. And then build on it. And then in game 4. And if you do that and we go back to Toronto, you have a 50-50 chance of getting to the next round. Right? So, but we have to win tomorrow. And we have to win the next day. That's all we can do. Right? There's no need to complicate it even further. It's that. Right? Let's get back. And this happens with the Yankees too. They come into these dumps for a couple of days, and all of a sudden they just explode again. Well, we need that tomorrow, and we need it the next day too. We need it. We need the bats who have not been hitting to start hitting. Our clutch bats, especially. Right? So, and we just need a balanced team of attack. Just like the Blue Jays are levying on us right now, balanced team attack. Right? All their bats are hitting us. Varsho, all these guys are hitting us. They're doing it without Bichette. Right? That's impressive. This goes to show how good this team is. We need to do the same thing. Okay? And it's a different team than we had last year. Yeah, we didn't have the lethal 1-2 punch like we did last year with Judge and Soto. I get it. This is a different plan of attack this year. And that's what we have to work with. We have to figure out how to use what we have to go up against the Blue Jays. I hope we get some of the faster guys in the game at some point, right? Get Caballero in to run the bases, right? So, and get some of these other guys. I made Rosario in here to get aggressive. Right? There's nothing I can do right now. I'm not going to complain about Ryan Yarbrough. I've already made it clear that I disagree that Ryan Yarbrough. I would have started him in game 1 instead of Luis Hill. But nothing you can do about it now. I don't know who decided that, but that was their choice. But that's it. Obviously, I'll be back tomorrow. And if any other news comes out today, I'll get it to you today. Any other news, Jets lost, Giants lost. So, what's new? What's new there? Patriots won last night. They beat the Bills. So, but bad day in New York sports yesterday. We got to make tomorrow a good day. That's it. There's one more team in New York playing in the postseason right now. Only one. That's the Yankees. So we have to make this a good day tomorrow. Right? And then let's build on that. Let's let it compound. All right? Let's freaking go. Okay, and again, if you're a fan and if you stayed with me to this point, I thank you. If you enjoy this content enough to come back, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't want you to miss anything. I don't. Okay? This is not a bandwagon channel. We don't ride the bandwagon. We don't ride the talking points. We don't just follow what other people say. We don't do that here. The goal is to be different than everybody else. Right? And this is why we have such a great loyal family. Right? We ride or die with this team no matter what. No matter what. Okay? So go have a great day, everybody. Okay? Let's just get ready for tomorrow. And the Yankees got to do the same. See you next time.